The Galactic Council chamber was vast and quiet, filled with tall beings from many worlds. They sat in rings around a glowing center, their eyes fixed on a screen that showed Earth. The council had gathered for an urgent meeting. The topic was humanity. There had been reports of human activity that worried many civilizations. Small attacks, strange signals, and their unpredictable nature had caused fear. One council member, a silver-skinned being named Corin, spoke first. Humans are unstable. They act without thinking. They are dangerous. The others nodded, murmuring in agreement. Even those who saw potential in humans remained quiet. When the final vote was cast, the decision was clear. Earth was to be exiled forever. No trade, no contact, no alliances. Humanity was to be isolated from the galaxy. On Earth, the announcement arrived like a wave of thunder. Screens everywhere showed the council's decision. Governments called emergency meetings. People crowded into streets, shocked and angry. News reporters tried to explain what exile meant. Some people cried, some shouted, but among all the chaos, there were those who did not panic. One of them was Ethan Cole, a former engineer living in a small city. He watched the announcement calmly. A small smile formed on his face. "Perfect," he whispered. "They think they won. Watch this." Ethan was not alone. Across the world, people began to react in unexpected ways. Communities came together, sharing resources and ideas. They started making plans, not to beg for mercy, but to prove themselves. Lila Grant, a scientist in her 40s, saw an opportunity. She told her team, "We don't need the council. We can build our own future. We can do things they never imagined." Her team nodded, inspired by her confidence. The council assumed that humans would panic, that their society would collapse. They believed isolation would weaken Earth. But the humans had other ideas. Across cities and towns, small groups started to innovate. Engineers, scientists, and thinkers began working in secret. Factories that once produced everyday goods were repurposed for new technologies. Energy sources were tested in ways the council could not imagine. Human creativity was rising faster than ever. In the midst of this, a young man named Jake Turner trained. He had grown up hearing stories of the council, of their power, and of humanity's exile. Instead of being afraid, he felt determined. He ran through abandoned streets, practiced in old hangars, and studied star maps. "We will show them," he said to himself every night. "They can exile us, but they cannot stop us." Small victories began to appear. A group of engineers in South America developed a more efficient solar generator. A team in Asia created a small drone capable of long-distance travel without fuel. People began sharing knowledge secretly, creating networks that the council would never detect. It was a new era of human collaboration and ingenuity. The phrase, "watch this," became a quiet symbol, whisper among groups, meaning humanity was preparing to rise. Even in politics, some leaders shifted focus. Instead of negotiating with the council, they worked to strengthen communities, support education, and fund research. Money once spent on wars and diplomacy was now invested in innovation and survival. The world slowly transformed into a place of hidden strength and creativity. Ethan and Lila often met in a small lab hidden beneath a ruined city. There, they discussed ideas and strategies. Lila explained new propulsion theories, while Ethan designed machines that could test them. They spoke quietly, aware that the council believed humans were powerless. But each day, their plans moved forward, inch by inch. Humanity was learning to thrive in exile. As months turned into years, humans adapted to the new reality. Cities changed, not in appearance, but in function. People shared skills and knowledge openly. Young scientists learned quickly from older ones. Engineers experimented with energy, propulsion, and materials. Farmers developed new ways to feed the growing population. It was a time of hidden growth, invisible to the galaxy but powerful on Earth. Through it all, Jake Turner continued his training. He became a symbol for many young humans. His determination inspired others to keep going, to learn, and to innovate. He knew that one day, humans would no longer be the weak, exiled species the council assumed they were. And so, on a quiet night, as lights flickered across the world in hidden labs and workshops, Ethan Cole looked up at the stars. He whispered again, "Perfect. Watch this." The words carried hope and challenge at the same time. Humanity was no longer scared. They were ready to grow, to learn, and to rise. The Council thought they had isolated Earth forever, but humans were already planning their next move, a move that would surprise the galaxy in ways no one could imagine. Years passed since the Council exiled Earth. The galaxy had forgotten about humans, thinking they would struggle and fade. But humans did not fade. Instead, they grew stronger in secret. The world changed quietly beneath the eyes of the Council. Ethan Cole worked with his team in hidden factories and workshops. Machines were built to recycle materials, to harness energy from oceans and winds, and to create new technologies. Lila Grant experimented with propulsion systems, hoping to reach beyond the solar system. Each day, small victories were made, though no one outside knew of them. Communities worked together, teaching skills and sharing ideas. Young people trained like never before, learning engineering, science, and piloting. Jake Turner was one of them. He trained for hours each day, running simulations and practicing maneuvers. He was not just learning to survive. He was preparing to lead. One day, he told his friends, we will show them what we can do. Secret networks formed across continents. Engineers in Africa built new energy systems. Scientists in Europe experimented with propulsion materials, and farmers in South America developed ways to feed growing populations using less land. The world became a hive of innovation, and humans worked together without needing recognition or approval from the galaxy. Ethan and Lila met often to discuss plans. "We must prepare," Lila said. "They think exile will stop us, but only makes us stronger." Ethan nodded. "Patience is our weapon. Every invention, every breakthrough brings us closer to the moment they never expect." In the quiet nights, humans looked up at the stars, imagining possibilities. They mapped uncharted regions of space, calculated energy needs for starships, and studied the limits of matter. Children learned physics and mathematics as easily as they once learned reading. Knowledge spread quickly, faster than any council observer could track. The phrase "watch this" became a quiet mantra among humans. It symbolized hope, determination, and defiance. It reminded them that they would not be weak forever. They would not beg for mercy or compromise their freedom. Instead, they would grow in strength and knowledge, ready for the day they returned to the galaxy. Ethan designed machines capable of testing new energy systems. Lilo worked on the first prototypes of propulsion system that could break speed limits thought impossible. Jake and other young pilots practiced navigating simulated space missions. Each of them knew that one day, these skills and inventions would be more than experiments. They would be the tools of humanity's return. Even governments, which once focused on diplomacy with the Council, now supported innovation quietly. Money and resources were invested in science, technology, and training. Wars and politics became secondary to survival and growth. Humanity was transforming into a united species, prepared for a future the Council never imagined. Across the world, secret laboratories and workshops hummed with activity. Engineers and scientists worked long hours, driven by curiosity and purpose. Children studied maps of stars and planets, dreaming of the day humans would explore them. Farmers and inventors collaborated to create new systems that sustained life efficiently. Earth itself became a platform of preparation, readying for the next step. Jake Turner became a symbol of this new generation. Young, talented, and determined, he trained relentlessly. He led groups in simulations, taught younger humans, and studied every new technology that came from the labs. He understood that humanity's survival depended on preparation, and he dedicated himself fully. As decades passed, humanity grew invisible to the galaxy, but powerful within their world. They became cleverer, faster, and more resourceful than ever before. Every challenge made them stronger. Every limitation became an opportunity. And every night, when the stars shone brightly above, Ethan Cole whispered once more, "Watch this." Humanity was no longer waiting for permission. They were building a future the Council could never control, preparing silently for a moment that would change everything. Decades passed, and humanity continued to grow stronger. The Council believed Earth was isolated, weak, and limited. They did not know humans had been preparing quietly, building a hidden future. Ethan Cole and Lila Grant led teams of engineers and scientists working day and night. They developed new energy systems, advanced robotics, and, most importantly, a new propulsion system that could travel far faster than anything the galaxy knew. Jake Turner was now a young adult, skilled in navigation and piloting. He had trained his whole life for this moment, even though he did not yet know exactly when it would come. He ran simulations of space travel, practiced maneuvers in virtual star systems, and studied the stars that had once seemed unreachable. Soon, he told his team, we will leave and show them what humans can do. The first successful test came when Lila's team launched a prototype star drive. It worked beyond expectations, traveling farther in hours than old systems could in years. Jake was chosen to pilot the first test. He entered the ship, his heart steady, mind focused. As the engines ignited, the ship leaped forward, disappearing from the observation deck in a blink. Hours later, it returned safely. The team cheered, knowing humanity had crossed a threshold that would change everything. Ethan and Lila began planning the next stage. They would not just travel, they would expand. Secret shipyards, hidden beneath old cities and mountains, began constructing a fleet of advanced ships. Each ship was equipped with the latest energy systems, propulsion drives, and defensive technologies. Humans worked in silence, driven by determination and patience. They did not need recognition or permission. Their exile had given them freedom to innovate without interference. Across the globe, young people trained in secret. Pilots, engineers, scientists, and explorers were all prepared. They learned to work together as a team, to solve problems quickly, and to think creatively. Every small success made them stronger, more confident. Earth itself had become a school of preparation, producing the best minds and most capable humans in history. Humanity began building hidden colonies in space, places unknown to the Council. These colonies were self-sufficient, advanced, and designed to grow without help. Ethan Cole oversaw construction, Lila Grant designed new technology, and Jake Turner trained crews. Every day, the fleet grew, and every day, humans became stronger. Meanwhile, back on Earth, communities flourished. Education, science, and technology were prioritized above all else. People shared knowledge freely, helping each other learn faster than ever before. Young minds explored advanced theories and built prototypes, guided by experienced mentors. Life on Earth became more than survival. It became preparation for a future that would surprise the galaxy. The phrase, "Watch this," spread quietly, whispered among humans. It reminded them that the moment of revelation was coming. They were no longer weak or fearful. They had learned, grown, and prepared. The galaxy would not recognize them when they returned. One night, as the stars shone bright above hidden labs and spaceports, Ethan looked up and whispered, "Watch this." Lila nodded, understanding the weight of the words. Jake adjusted the controls of the new fleet, ready for the day humanity would move beyond the limits imposed by the Council. The future was close, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy what they could do. The Galactic Council started noticing unusual signals at the edge of known space. Ships appeared briefly, moving faster than anything recorded, and then vanished. Council officers were alarmed. They believed humans could not achieve such technology. Clara Voss, a Council officer, was assigned to investigate. She followed one of the signals and discovered a massive station, hidden far beyond known space. It was clearly built by humans, advanced and powerful. Claire reported back, but many Council leaders dismissed her findings. They did not believe that the exiled species could achieve such progress. Meanwhile, humanity continued to prepare. Ethan Cole oversaw the construction of the fleet. Lila Grant worked on new technologies that allowed faster travel, better energy use, and advanced defenses. Jake Turner led teams in simulations, preparing them for their first mission. Every ship built, every crew trained, was a step closer to their plan. The first official reveal came when a small fleet approached the outer rim of Council space. They did not attack. Instead, they demonstrated their capabilities. Ships moved with precision, faster than Council vessels. Energy systems and weapons were far superior. The Council watched in shock as humans displayed technologies they believed impossible. Clara Voss was stunned. She realized humanity had become a force far beyond what the Council expected. Her reports, once ignored, now became urgent. She tried to convince the leaders to prepare for possible confrontation. But many still underestimated humans. The Council believed they could control or intimidate the exiled species. They were wrong. Humanity did not seek revenge, but they made it clear they would no longer be judged or restricted. Ethan Cole addressed the Council, calm and confident. Lila Grant presented achievements, showing advanced star drives, energy systems, and colonization technologies. Jake Turner led a demonstration, moving ships in patterns that amazed and intimidated Council members. It was clear that humans were no longer weak or primitive. On Earth, people watched in silence. They had prepared for this moment for decades. Communities, schools, and workshops had contributed to this hidden strength. Young humans who had trained for years were now ready to step into space, to lead, and to show the galaxy the results of humanity's determination. The Council began to realize their mistake. Underestimating humans had given them the opportunity to grow beyond any limit the galaxy had imagined. Humanity's exile had become their greatest advantage. The demonstration of power and skill was not just about technology. It was about unity, intelligence, and spirit. As the Council watched, Ethan whispered again, "Watch this." The words echoed across the galaxy, now more meaningful than ever. Humans had shown what they could do when forced to rely on themselves. The exiled species was no longer the one the Council thought they knew. They were stronger, smarter, and ready for the future. The galaxy would never forget the return of humanity. Humanity finally addressed the Galactic Council directly. For the first time since their exile, Ethan Cole spoke for the species, calm and confident. "Exile forced us to grow," he said. "It forced us to unite, to innovate and to think beyond limits. We do not seek revenge, but we will not accept judgment or control from those who underestimated us." Lila Grant presented the technologies humanity had developed. Faster-than-light drives, advanced energy systems, and hidden colonies across unexplored space. Each demonstration left the Council stunned. Jake Turner led the demonstration of the fleet. Ships move in complex patterns, faster and more precise than any Council vessel. Energy shields activated with seamless coordination. Weapon systems operated with accuracy, and propulsion engines displayed speeds no Council member thought possible. The Council, which once thought humans were weak, now struggled to comprehend the power before them. Despite the technological display, humanity's message was clear. They sought cooperation on equal terms, not conflict. The Council was forced to listen. Ethan continued, "We are ready to be part of the galaxy again, but only as equals. We will not be controlled or underestimated." His words were calm, yet filled with quiet authority. The Council members were silent, absorbing the full meaning of humanity's growth and determination. Back on Earth, people watched as the message was broadcast. Years of preparation, decades of hidden effort, and countless innovations culminated in this moment. Communities that had trained, learned, and built together felt the satisfaction of success. Young humans who had grown up in secret programs now saw the results of their efforts. Humanity had transformed from an exiled species to a force that the galaxy could not ignore. The Council debated, uncertain how to respond. They realized their greatest mistake had been underestimating humans. Their exile, intended to weaken, had only made humanity stronger. The message from Ethan, Lila, and Jake left them no choice but to acknowledge humanity's capabilities and demand for equality. As the transmission ended, Ethan looked at his team. "Watch this," he whispered. The words that had once been a quiet promise were now a clear declaration to the entire galaxy. Humanity had risen, not through force, but through perseverance, intelligence, and unity. They had turned exile into opportunity, and in doing so, changed the course of history. The galaxy, once dismissive, now knew that humans were no longer a species to be ignored. Humanity's determination, ingenuity, and resilience had created a new chapter. They had proven that even in isolation, they could rise, innovate, and stand as equals among the stars. The Council's exile had backfired, and the universe was witnessing the beginning of humanity's true story. And through it all, the quiet words spoken decades ago echoed louder than ever. "Watch this." Humanity had done exactly that, and the galaxy would never forget it.